Good morning, everybody. This is Richard Warrington. I own Mr. Guns Firearms down in Cave Creek, Arizona, a small boutique operation, one-man show, and this is my channel, Bad_Shooters, where I share the experience of being an FFL. And we've been talking about NFA stuff since it changes as of January 1st, and I want to continue on that same theme. Those of you who've been following me know that when I usually get in the shop, I open up my laptop. I immediately go to check my silencers at mrgunsfirearms.com email inbox to see if we've had any approvals. And I had submitted two Form 4s for myself. Now, as an FFL, I can hold the items here in my store. I can go and use them as an FFL. But if I want to take NFA items home, I have to dispose them to myself just as I would any other customer. So when I want to dispose something from Mr. Guns Firearms to Richard Warrington, I have to go in, fill out a Form 4, and wait, just like everybody else does, to get those forms back. So I received two forms back today. I had put in two suppressors. One is a Shiv that some of you have been following. You've seen me shoot that on my Glock platform, fully automatic. My wife has shot it. Chris, also known as White Boy, has also shot it on my Instagram page. It works very well, so I wanted to have one of those. We've sold a number of them. They're doing very, very well in the shop. Very lightweight, 3D center printed, small and compact, very effective. And then the other suppressor that I submitted for myself is for 9mm. It's a Wit Machine dedicated 9mm 300 blackout direct thread suppressor, kind of on the budget end of things, but they work very well. We had purchased a Colt SMG 9mm for the shop. It's a retro gun, so I wanted to have a suppressor for that gun, but I also wanted to be able to take that suppressor home. So I, as an individual, can carry that paperwork, the necessary paperwork, to identify the suppressor as being mine, possessed by me, and bring it here to the shop and take it shooting from the shop, or I can take it to the house and we can go shooting from the house. That is short and long what I've got. So this has been relatively quick process for me. I have other suppressors in the system. Gentlemen have come in and purchased other suppressors for me. I'm having more suppressor business take place now because these gentlemen came in, they did their first one, they're skeptical, it came right back. We got them a couple more. Now everybody's trying to cover all their platforms, right? Whether it's Nomax 33 for 338 Lapua, whether it's other Shivs for other people. We got a Huxworks for a gentleman who bought a Geisley platform, beautiful gun. So again, this business is going to continue, we think, to increase. So I usually order on a per desire basis, and the Form 3s are coming back quickly. So if I go on an order from somebody and that dealer Form 4s it to 3 in usually about 24 hours, and I get it in the mail and it's here and it's in my possession with 3 to 4 days. That's what we're looking at for the whole suppressor process right now. And if you've been following my channel, you know that this is what we do. This is how we make this work. I still have a lot of suppressors in the back. If people don't know exactly what they want, we'll go through a consult with them and we'll help them pick the appropriate platform. A lot of suppressors are very close in construction and technology, with the exception of a lot of the new suppressors that are coming out, which are titanium construction. The majority of the suppressor is titanium construction, and also the 3D center printing process, which is awesome. So what I wanted to share with you guys today is I have a regular customer who works with TAC teams out here, and he has some suppressors that came in, and we're going to put them in a trust. So today I'm going to do that submission for him in a trust. Now, everybody's perception of what a trust is different, I've found. A lot of guys who have NFA items or want to buy NFA items feel it's necessary to have a trust. I'm just going to tell you right now, from my perspective, from a dealer's perspective, and I, working with NFA stuff all the time and trusts, my opinion is that if you are the only person who is going to be using the NFA item, you are the only person who is going to have possession. You're going to transport it. You're going to use it. You're going to transport it back to your home. If you're the only person in the household, I do not feel that it's necessary to have a trust. Now, I'm going to expand upon that. A trust is an entity, okay? You can create a gun trust, an NFA gun trust. You can put whatever you want in it. Now, the tax stamp being eliminated, previously, each item you added to the trust cost you $200. All right, so there's that. Having an attorney draw you up a trust. Does anybody know what attorneys cost? My wife's an attorney. I know what it costs. It's not cheap. They have to draw up the trust. They have to name the people in it, and then they have to add the items to it, and then they give it to you. Okay. I've heard $5,000. I've heard $20,000. I know a gentleman with a huge ranch. I have a customer with a huge ranch, and it's got hundreds of employees, and he has a trust, and they put these items in the trust. That's a huge ball of wax. Okay, you're a guy, you're married, you got a couple kids. Do you need a trust? If your wife or your children who have to be old enough to possess the NFA items in the trust, possess. If your wife is not taking the suppressor to the range by herself or transporting her firearm around with a suppressor on it, it's not necessary. If your children are old enough to possess the NFA items and they want to take them to the range, hey, Dad, I'm going to grab the can for the X and go shooting with Billy. No problem if they're named in the trust. When you create a trust, everybody who's going to be named in the trust, you, your wife, your kids, your cousin, your next door neighbor, everybody's got to get checked, background checked. So when I do the submission and all those people are in that trust, every single one of them has to go through a background check when the trust hits NFA. Just remember that, okay? Here's the other thing. The other consideration a lot of guys want to know, they're like, I got all this stuff, and like if I pass, if I have a heart attack or something happens, like I just want my wife to be able to take the stuff. Well, truth be told, you write it in the will. The wife gets the machine guns. The kids get the suppressors, provided they're old enough. The next door neighbor gets X, etc. The dog gets Y. If you don't have a trust, but they are in your will, they're going to take that stuff anyhow. They're going to get that stuff anyhow. They can work it out amongst themselves to get that stuff. Even NFA items. That's what a Form 5 is. If you have a machine gun, if you don't have a trust and all that stuff you bought for the last 40 years, machine guns, suppressors, and they're transferable, is left in your will to so-and-so, to my wife, to my kids. Form 5. You take possession as per the will, the legal document, like a trust. They take possession, they do a Form 5, it's theirs. Got it? So, again, unless you have multiple individuals accessing and using individually your NFA items, you don't need a trust. Now, can all that crap get stuck in probate and the usual, you know what I mean? Like, this happens with cars and furniture and china sets. I've had cases where people have brought me estates where, hey, Uncle Billy passed away, you better get over his house and get the guns. They descend on the house. Everybody just grabs all the crap they can. And then they call in a junk company to come and haul off the rest of the crap. This guy brought me a $9,000 Shytac, and they had thrown the box away. A pair of Beretta shotguns, matched pair of Beretta shotguns, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, whatever it was. They come in Negrini cases, okay? They're fitted, they're gorgeous, they're Italian. The guns go in the boxes. They threw them out. The idiots threw them out. This guy got over there, luckily, in time to grab a couple of the guns and a bunch of the optics and stuff. It was his wife's uncle. It was a free-for-all. There was nothing in the will. There was no trust. I think the trust thing has been seriously overblown. Again, unless you fit that criteria. I've got all this NFA stuff. My wife likes to go shoot with her girlfriends, the Tommy gun, and my kids take the suppressors and the minigun out. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't want them to get in trouble. Well, we don't want you to get in trouble either, but if you've got, you want to make up a trust, dude. But I'm just telling you, like, I'm getting ready to send this trust in, and there's 2 people named in it. This dude and a kid that he's taken under his wing to train. The kid's not even related to him. So the kid can have possession of the stuff, go shoot by himself, whatever. As long as you're carrying the tax stamp and a copy of the trust, that item is in with your name on it, you're cool. So those are the limitations, okay? Expensive, time-consuming, must be written well, because when they get to the NFA, if it doesn't cover all their bases, they're gonna go, send it back. Sorry, dude. You gotta fix this, you gotta fix this, you gotta fix this. And they don't just fix it they don't call you up and go, hey, I'm sorry, the language in here isn't correct. Can you correct this, and then we'll keep it going on its way? You start all over again. They kick it out of the system, and you gotta start all over again. So, ask yourself, do you need a trust? Again, this is my opinion. If you want to go get a trust, go get a trust. I'm going to submit this for this dude. There's 4 documents. We'll see what happens. My experience in the past, we've submitted 2 trusts. One for this gentleman before, for some other items that has only him named in it. And then for a family, there was a guy, his sister, and his brother. They misspelled somebody's name in the trust. So when they went to go do the background check, it effed the whole thing up. So, the process ended up taking almost 20 months. 20 months to have 2 suppressors in the trust. And the guy would not listen. Like, he was just like, I want it. You're going to do it. Submit it. And then it got backed out. And he's like, oh my gosh, you screwed up. And we're like, look, look. So, I got to put this trust in here today. There's a couple NFA items in it. We'll see how long it takes to come back. We're still getting about the same return right now. I've had like a 72-hour one, and I've had like a 9-day one, and then these couple that just came back for me were submitted. When were they submitted? Let me try and get you. One was submitted on the 10th, okay? Today is the 18th, so 8 days. So I'm saying, like, right now, when I tell people, I'm like, look, we're probably running like 7 to 14 days. That's the safe period, right? So, and And just to be clear, like my wife isn't going to do this. She always goes shooting with me. She's not going to get, she has access to all this stuff, but she's not going to take it and go shooting with it without me, because I'm the person who's in the Form 4 and I got to be there with the can and my tax stamp. It's called CYA. Everybody knows what that is, right? CYA, cover your assets. And, that's my trust speech for today. We've gone to appointment only. Getting my window treatments done today. Still have all the boxes and stuff to pick up from Rock Island Auction. Had a conversation with them the other day. I have a bore shot. If anybody knows what that is, it's the predecessor to the Luger that we're sending up to Rock Island to go with the rest of this auction, which will be very interesting to see how that goes, because they sold one for $90,000 like 2 years ago. This is not a $90,000 one, but this is probably like a $20,000 to $30,000 one. And yeah, that's it here at Mr. Guns. I'm going to do some new t-shirts today. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the art. This is obviously a tribute to the teams. I've got a Little Bird shirt coming out today, and we got one for White Boy too, and maybe I'll show you guys some of that stuff if you want to buy some merch. All right, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Stay on top of your NFA stuff, dude, because now it's wide open, especially with the suppressors, AOWs, SBRs, SBSs. And yeah, keep coming back. I hit all the comments as much as I can. I appreciate you guys so much. Have a great day. This is Rich at Mr. Guns.